Hi there, Las Vegas. It's a Vegas Spotlight with your man, Paul Gonzales, sitting here with a Mr. Deon Copeland. How you doing, Deon?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. How's your day, man?
Pretty good, man. I'm enjoying myself.
Pleasure to have you here in the office. Is it a pleasure to be here?
Yes, sir.
Right on. So, what do you
Sorry
do?
without responding to a message, my bad.
Hey, it happens, man. So, what exactly do you do, Deon?
Also, what I am, I'm an entrepreneur, man. What I did was, I'm a chef. I'm a chef by trade. Okay? So what I do is, basically, I just take an idea that has something to do with food, and I put into fruition. One of those ideas just so happened to be Crave Cave LV. At Crave Cave LV, to be more specific. Basically, what I did was, man, I just got tired of punching the clock, and doing the same thing for every other company, working at, five-star company, so on and so forth, So I just had to apply it to myself, and what I did was I got out there, I got the right licensing, and realized it didn't cost that much, and I just tried, and it worked. And it's been like 4 years now.
Wow, you've been going at it 4 years?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. So, what exactly is Crave Cave?
Crave Cave is a company that really, we cater, we have storefronts, we have food carts. We just try to cater to your craving while keeping it some level of healthy. You know what I mean? We don't want to give you a deep fried bacon sandwich,
Yeah, you're trying to keep the customers alive.
Exactly. We want to give you, we want to soothe the craving.
Okay.
While, giving you like, wow, I didn't know I can have this, it can be healthy,
Yeah, no, and that's definitely something. When you first told me that, I really like that little tagline, soothe the craving.
Yeah.
And that is what your food does. Do you want to kind of explain to people your angle at making food and exactly how Crave Cave is soothing cravings?
So what I do is I take trending foods, fan foods, and I put a spin on it. So let's say if you like Hot Pockets.
Right.
But we know that microwaving things are terrible because you're essentially drying it out from the inside out. So what I do is I'll take a Hot Pocket and I'll put it in the oven, or I'll defrost it to the proper room temperature, and I'll put a spin on it, like put some bacon and cheese on top of it, or split it down the middle and fill it with vegetables, or just literally any spin on it. Like a dessert Hot Pocket, for instance. You know what I mean? Never had one, right? Exactly.
Okay, I get
a spin,
I catch your style. And to give people a bit of an idea of what else he's doing, we just had Deon at one of our events, and he was Crave Cave made a Sin City hot dog. You called it, right?
Oh yeah, the Sin City hot dog. I'll tell you guys about that. That's a hot dog. That basically what it is an all beef frank. You split it down the middle, or give it a couple of hash marks, your choice. It's bacon. It has to be premium bacon. And the trick is, I'll tell you guys a secret because it's all in technique. You put pepper and slap your mama Cajun seasoning on it, but it has to be fresh cracked black pepper. And that's how you bake it. And you have to bake it. It has to be baked bacon. It's not typical fried because you don't want all that nasty grease in there. You want to be able to get that off. You do that, and there's two different type of cheeses, mozzarella and is a fine cheddar. So it's more of a sharp cheddar. With that is a seasoned, like I said, the hot link is a sausage. It's like a smoked sausage. It's seasoned with the slap your mama and the cracked black pepper. You want to keep the same seasonings flowing. And you put that on a nice brioche bun or Hawaiian roll. That's a nice spin to it too.
Yeah, that Sin City dog is something else. So let's take it back for people. Right now we're at Crave Cave, and you're running this business, making all of these things. How did you get your start?
Honestly, I just saved my checks, man. I saved my checks. I cut out any unnecessary expenses. I just saved my checks. Like I was getting the typical, check of $600, $800, whatever, and I just saved it. I paid rent. I did no extracurricular activities. I literally I grinded out for I want to say about 9 months, and you'd be surprised, even with a not so good job, you can save up a nice little grip to actually apply it. It's not about necessarily how much money you have. It's about how you apply the funds that you do have.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. Because you don't always start with the biggest loan or $10,000, $20,000.
No, sir. No, I had about, close to maybe $2,500 or $3,000.
Right, and it's just making it work with what you got.
That's it. You know what I mean? As long as you have the correct paperwork, that's everything. Paperwork and the drive is all you need.
Yeah, and then just make it happen.
That's it.
So, how'd you get started chefing? Like, what was your first chef job?
Oh wow, my first chef job was, that was a long time ago. It's been about 15 years now. My first chef job, I think it was, my first chef job was a place called Tantra Atlanta. It was you can actually look it up online. It's called Tantra Atlanta. If you just put in Tantra, is a lot of different locations. But Tantra Atlanta is a Mediterranean restaurant, and that's why I was literally just a salad guy, and I went to I went to jump on a hotline, and I almost burned everything up. I messed all the orders up. I didn't understand how a line worked at the time. But yeah, Mediterranean food was my induction into the culinary world.
Okay, and that was at Tantra Atlanta?
Yeah, Tantra Atlanta.
You're just a salad guy, yeah?
Yep. Not for long. I was a salad guy for about 2 or 3 months. Then I jumped up into dessert, which all the desserts were freshly made. I learned how to make like Twix from scratch and baklava, so on and so forth.
Baklava.
Yeah.
That's some special stuff.
Yeah.
So is that how it works in the chef world? You sort of start out at a smaller position and you work your way up from salad to dessert to XYZ, or?
Well, yeah, the chef world is an interesting situation. Like anybody that was pursuing a culinary degree or a culinary career, the word of advice would be find something that you love and do it. Don't just do it because the numbers look right, or I want to be a chef, because to be a chef is really in the heart. You know what I mean? Like they have the things that say, oh, you're a chef, you have to have this paperwork. But at the end of the day, I've met chefs that are much better than I am, and I'll say that honestly, and don't have half the paperwork that I do. So it's really hard. Do something that you love, because the chef world is extremely stressful. So, just make sure if you're doing it, you dedicate your life to something like that, it's something that you want to do.
Now, it's interesting you say the chef world is stressful. I think I've heard that from some other places, that just being a chef and being in that high pace, high energy kitchen, it's a high stress job. So, people like getting into it, how do you make it less stressful?
Oh, you make it less stressful by teamwork is dream work. That's what it is at the end of the day. It takes a team to win a ring. And the biggest issue that you find in the culinary world, whether that be pastry, savory, or whatever, is that people don't like. There's just no teamwork. You have to remember, regardless if you work for a union, because Vegas is big on unions, union or whatever else, that teamwork is dream work. If you stick together, man, the job will get done. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. So, you started chefing about 15 years ago. How long total have you been cooking?
Total, I've been cooking, this will be the 16th year.
16 years cooking.
Yep.
And
my first job, when I started working at Tantra when I was 15 going on 16.
And
I'm 29, about to be 30 now.
Through all of your time cooking, like, what's your favorite sort of stuff to cook? Like, what makes your heart sing, man?
What makes my heart sing when it comes to cooking is, well, a broad answer would be anything that I make that I'm not following somebody's recipe or whatnot. But a realistic answer would be pasta. It's something about pasta and tossing some pasta in the pan that's nicely coated, some nicely boiled noodles or some fresh noodles. It's just something about it that it gives me a different kind of sensation.
All right, so what's your favorite type of food, man?
My favorite type of food, honestly, is pizza. Let me explain, though. Let me explain.
Okay.
The reason that it's pizza is because pizza's been simplified to the American, to mass, But really, pizza's a interesting thing when you think about it, The dough has to be just rightly proof, you know what I mean? Rolled out just right, A machine is not doing it. Pizza's a lost art, Mm-hmm. Somebody's touching that every time you get it. So each time you get that, you get the emotions of the person that made it. If it's fantastic, they had a good day. If it's sketchy, they may be going through some things, So that's why I love pizza. Pizza's an expression. It's the best type of food that expresses people.
Really? Man, that's a hell of an insight. I never thought about that one. So, I know you mentioned like sort of the emotions or like the way of being of whoever's cooking sort of gets put into their food. Mm-hmm. You can really taste that going from person to person.
Mm-hmm. Like when you do it so long, man, when you have a real love for the craft, when it stops being about the money or the glory of it, mm-hmm. I talk to my food, as I'm cooking, I talk to it just to make sure it's okay. You know what I mean? Just to make sure it's okay and it's feeling all right, and make sure you're ready to go to the next stage.
Yeah, I got you.
So you got to, when it comes to being able to identify, what a person, I can literally tell you if somebody cooks something for me, what kind of day they're having. Because depending on how hard you season it or how hard how long you let it fry, does something have your mind sidetracked? Is it perfectly fried or did it get a little dark?
Yeah.
Like everything, all that expresses who you are. That's why I love cooking so much, because it's like drawing. It's an art form.
So, getting into cooking, did you have any inspirations? Like, Any idols or any celebrity chefs, anything like that?
One of my biggest inspirations was this guy named Marvin Woods, Chef Marvin Woods. He was the Obama chef, actually. And it was just, honestly, it was enlightening seeing somebody who had the style that he had. 'Cause he would wear like bandanas, and then, he was a bald guy, wear bandanas, and real snappy guy, So it's interesting to see somebody like him, in the White House, because he's amazing at what he does, But it just, it was inspiration because life is full of ups and downs. You know what I mean? For somebody like him, and you obviously can Google him, Marvin Woods, Chef Marvin Woods. For him to make it through whatever he made it through to get to where he is inspirational. And also another chef, I did a tabling with him, and that's just basically when they're doing like they're advertising a product or something, and you're just with them doing it with them. They typically only do somebody that feels skilled and trained in that area that they're in. His name was Tal Ronan. He's a very, very, very famous vegan chef. In fact, he invented the first massively produced vegan chicken like meals that you can buy like Walmart or like the major brands. Yeah, his name's Tal Ronan. Yeah, I did table him way back when I was in culinary school. But yeah, he's a solid guy. That was an inspiration too, because to taste something that tastes just like chicken and it wasn't chicken, it was like wow, like okay, this chef stuff is real,
Yeah. So coming up in the game, like how have you seen vegan foods and all the vegetarian takeover change the culinary arts?
Completely. I mean, man, you gotta understand when I was first getting into it, man, this was like 2007, 2008. Like back then, like people only cared about going to see their cousins in the country and roast a whole pig or what can I kill and eat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, for jerky was real big back then. So to see now that people are eating kale chips and, everything is instant freeze dried or, all this natural stuff is good. It's really good though. It's good though. But it only sucks because it's expensive to live like that.
It really is.
It sucks because it's expensive to live healthy, but yeah, it's definitely taking over though. At first I thought it was just a trend. Honestly, from a chef standpoint, I was like, no, I'm not gonna change a menu or invest this money. It's just a trend. It'll pass. It's a phase, but it's really not. People are getting more conscious, man. People are getting more conscious about what to do to live longer. It's possible.
Yeah, I think people are really starting to think about what they're putting inside of their bodies and how it makes them feel and how it's going to interact with the rest of their life. It's interesting seeing all the vegans and vegetarians come up.
Yeah, really though.
So you were cooking for about 15 years, chefing it just at different locations, different businesses, different restaurants. At what point did you realize you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Oh man, it was when I made the move to Vegas about 5 years ago. I made the move to Vegas, and I was here. And honestly, I'm from the South, from Atlanta, so being there and seeing that you work hard and you try to get up and you in the culinary world and you finally get there and you cap out at like $40,000. $40,000 sounds great when you're 18 or 19, but as you grow and you start to go through things in life and when you own a house, you realize that it's not you're doing $40,000 worth of work and they're making what it was I'll tell you that. I'm sorry I'm jumping, but I'll tell you the exact moment made me want to say it. I was a head chef at this very popular what is it, like what do they call them, like those stores that be in the mall, like the major chains, like the Macy's and the Sears and what do they call those department stores, or whatever. It was a high end department store and I was a chef for them, whatever. And we had our quarterly meeting, and my salary there, I believe it was like about $70,000, which equated to roughly about, because I know somebody's interested. $70,000 equates to roughly about $4,200 a month. $4,300 a month after taxes and everything said and done. Now without taxes, before taxes, it's higher than that, but whatever. So I was doing that. We had a quarterly meeting, and they said we were in the red, meaning business wasn't good. And for our departments, our area, we had made about I think we were 6 months to a year, because it was the second quarterly meeting, and we had made about the whole thing had made about, I think, $3.2 billion. And I was like, I'm only getting you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm burning myself every day. I'm here 13 hours a day. You know what I mean? I'm having to manage people. I'm having to micromanage people, and I understand that comes with a job description. But it goes back to, what is your worth?
Right.
What's your worth? You know what I mean? So I had to really just reevaluate what my worth was, and I was like, man, it's not 70,000. I'm a numbers guy, so I did the percentages. And long story short, I was getting 0.001% of my department's cut of that 8.1 whatever the billion was. It was a big 3.1 billion, whatever it was. So I was like, it's not it's not necessarily a fair thing. It's just when you work hard, work hard. I've been doing it for a long time. I sweat, blood, cars breaking down early in the morning. Everybody, we all know the struggle.
Yeah.
So when you get to a certain point, you just feel like, okay, I'm not going deal with this. And then corporate comes down and they tell you, let me point out everything you're doing wrong, even though you're doing it by yourself, you're understaffed, so on and so forth. So it's like you gotta. At some point, like I say, you just got to decide that, okay, I'm tired of you complain about it, or you can do something about it.
Yeah, and that's real interesting. You mentioned knowing your worth, and then once you actually ran the numbers, you can see it real concrete like that.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in business with Crave Cave? Just doing your thing. When did you start?
Officially, I've been in business for about 4 years. Officially, I've been doing it for about 6, but I found out the hard way that there were a couple of loops and holes you had to go through before you just start selling anything that's edible. And at first I was upset about it, but it's necessary. You understand that it's necessary. There's a reason why there are rules and regulations.
Yeah, I got you. So your aspirations and goals. You've been in business about 4 years. Where would you like to take Crave Cave going into 2019, 2020 in the future?
Honestly, what I want to do is I just want to establish a nice following here in Las Vegas. And in addition to that, I'm actually trying to bring to the seasoning game on a wholesale retail level. I'm trying to create a seasoning that I can, because people always say, "Oh my God, it's so delicious," and I know what makes it good is the way it's seasoned, or what seasons, the way the combinations I use for seasoning. I understand how vegetables work and pH balance, and how the acidity here may affect the acidity here, or so on and so forth. So I know how to season. So with that being the situation, I'm trying to create some kind of season that can be stored and reused, and put it to wholesale, like Walmart, Smith's, Kroger, so on and so forth.
What have been your biggest challenges running Crave Cave and taking this whole chef organization under your own wings, under your own direction?
The paperwork. Paperwork is the biggest challenge, because here in Las Vegas, because there are so many entrepreneurs, is an influx of pop-up shops, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So with that being the situation, when you go to get like these business licensing, and it's like for a food truck or a storefront that has something to do with food, there's a waiting list. And that waiting list sometimes can be long depending on the district that you're in. And if you're in a district that's more underdeveloped, which is where most people go because the lots are a little cheaper, the waiting list is really, really long. So that's one of the biggest challenges. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but that literally puts everything on pause. If that's your main source of income,
You can stop it all.
it stop it all. If I have three different cars open and I have to renew the license for one, and whether it be by my fault or by them being closed or whatever, I miss my appointment date, or it gets pushed back, I have to shut down that cart until
Right.
it's reopened.
Yeah, no, I got you. The government, man.
Right, man.
What's been your
tricky individuals?
Yeah, really. Really. What's been your biggest joys running business and doing your own thing?
Honestly, just waking up, and this may sound irresponsible to some people, but waking up at like 1 p.m. That's what it is. Staying up to 6 a.m., playing video games, and waking up at 1 p.m. I'm a businessman, but I'm a simple man at the same time. Like, simple is in a good way, not the bad simple. But long story short, I believe life's about living, not about worrying about how you're going to live. You know what I mean? So I think people put too much. I realized even as when I was younger, man, you know what I mean? Like, especially in my 20s, I worried too much about how I was going to live instead of living,
Right.
Where's that come from? Just if way back when I would have said to myself, hey, Deon, you know how to cook. Try it. Just try it. Maybe you fail. You know what I mean? If I'd just honestly not been so scared and just tried it, I'd probably be a millionaire today.
Wow.
Opposed to a thousandaire. You know what I mean?
That's powerful information for all the young people listening. All it really takes is a try. Maybe you fail, maybe you don't fail, who knows. But so much is just trying, especially when you're young. That's huge.
Huge, man.
What would you say to people who wanted to be a chef, a young person, a 16-year-old, who has that feeling, maybe I can cook? Like, what would you say to them, how to get started and how to move?
The main thing is, one, get your knife skills up. Go to YouTube and type in chef knife skills, different cuts. It may seem like right now is nothing to you, but you will realize that literally determines what job you do or don't get. Because every major job you get that's 50,000 or more, you have to do a knife skills test, or what they call a raft or a stage, which is like a working interview. So that and like I said before, just to go piggyback on what I said earlier, make sure you love it. Make sure you love it. What people don't realize is I was in the military, and being a chef is more stressful than being in the military to me.
Really?
I mean, nothing against military. I loved it, but being a chef is more stressful than that. You know what I mean? Because you're literally controlling people's lives and what people think. You control how a person's day goes because you're literally the person that what they put in their body affects how they are. So if you put something that's bad in their body, or you put something that doesn't taste good in their body, you literally set a chain. A chain in motion for people to just have a bad day. It's snowball effect. I call it a snowball effect. It starts off just, this food is nasty. It's cold in this car. For your whole day is just it's crap.
Yeah, just one thing after the other.
Exactly.
In your eyes, what separates the good and bad chef?
A love for the craft. That's an easy one. A love for the craft. And sometimes you get into it and you work for these companies, or you may not get the job you wanted, and it knocks it deters you, it deters you, and what happens is slowly but surely you start asking yourself, well, it's cooking. I can make money. I can make a bunch of money cooking. Yeah, right. It's cooking. It's a dead end job. It doesn't like that at first, but then after about you get in double digits, it gets real dead endish. You know what I mean? You gotta honestly, you gotta level up. If you're working hard, I'll say this to anybody that has a culinary job or is interested in getting the culinary job. If you're just working hard for someone else, ask yourself this question: what if you put that same energy, those same 8 hours a day, into something that you love, whether it be gaming, being a chef, or anything? Imagine before you ever apply for any culinary job, right? You took 8 hours or 4 hours, right? I mean, literally did like you was at school, and practice on your knife skills. Go to Ross or something, buy a little knife or something that you'll never have. Spend about $15, $20 on a knife. And actually just sit there and do it, If you want to be in this culinary, understand it's like being in college. It takes a lot of work to be real good at it. Because some people are naturally gifted, some people, can get the gift, But either way it goes, it takes a lot of work. You never know it all. There's always something more to learn in the culinary field. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a master at all. I don't think a master chef actually exists.
Wow.
It's always something. There's always some learning. How could you say I know everything? Especially in the culinary world, there's so many different ingredients to mix, and you know what I mean. Like it's outrageous. It's animals we haven't discovered. So how do you know everything?
Yeah, no, I never even thought about it like that, man. Wow. So something I sort of picked up is you've noted the different scientific aspects of cooking, the pH and heats and all this sort of different stuff. In your eyes, is cooking more of an art or a science or a combination of both? How do you see that one?
I think cooking is, in my own words, magic. I think it's magic.
Wow. Why is that?
Because I think you literally if you can quite literally be standing in the kitchen and get a call for somebody that you love, somebody that just genuinely makes you happy, right? And whatever you were about to cook is gonna taste 20 times better because you're happy now. It smells better to you, You're dancing a little bit as you're cooking it. I mean, that may have been enough salt, but I know me. Let me just season it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It does something. Even the thought process of it makes you happy. You know what I mean? Like, so imagine actually being in an aspect. Like, cooking is magic. You know what I mean? It's magic. But as far as like scientifically and scientifically speaking, I just like food because I feel like it is living. We kill it when we eat it, realistically speaking. But it is living. I watch the way a chicken moves or a cow moves or the way a jaw moves and find out that the meat, people always want to know, like, okay, well, what's the science behind what's the best part of the cow to eat? Well, just use your brain. What parts of the cow move the most? You want to stay away from those. Those are going to be real rough and strong, right? You want to go towards the places that aren't moved the most. That's how you get that nice tender cuts of meat. That's why I love the science food. So when somebody asks me, I can always explain it. I literally love it. Like, I love food. You know what I mean? Like,
listening to you break this all down, it sounds like happiness is a big part of your core philosophy. Do you want to go ahead and drop some knowledge concerning happiness and how you view it all?
Oh man, happiness is essential for life. Biggest issue, I'll say this real quick, is don't put your happiness in anyone else or anything else for that matter. I'm sorry, not thing, but anyone. Never let a person determine your happiness. Male, female, mom, dad, cousin, brother, nobody. Let no one determine your happiness. Because at the end of the day, remember, when you go to that good old wooden box 6 feet under, or if you get burned up, your choice, you're going to be by yourself. Alone. Okay? And I know that sounds morbid, but just hear me out.
Yeah, truth of the matter.
Like, you have to make sure you're happy at all times. Do not spend a lick, a second, a moment of your life being unhappy. Because if you do, that's considered a waste of time. In my eyes, it's too easy to be happy. It's too easy. Don't make up lies to, please another person. Don't accept lies from a person to appease you. Just be happy. Just genuinely be happy. If you're happy dressing up like a Pokemon trainer and playing Pokemon Go on your phone, well, you know what, you do that, and make sure you look both ways before you cross the street. Don't let no one stop your happiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Happiness, that's something else.
Yep.
Core tenet.
Yep.
So we've talked about the chef aspect and people who want to go into being a chef. Let's switch it and think about people who want to go in and be an entrepreneur, whether their entrepreneurial endeavor is food or they're selling a service or selling a product, whatever it is. What can you tell people about being an entrepreneur and even getting started down that road?
I would be an entrepreneur. I'll tell you this honestly, because I do the culinary thing, but I have about 4 or 5 different businesses, aside from culinary, that aren't culinary related. And I'll tell you this, it's terrifying. That's the first thing you need to know. It's scary. So it's okay to feel scared. When you feel that fear and like, oh man, I hope I'm able to pay my rent, or I hope I'm able to pay my car insurance, or whatever it is you have to pay, or maybe you don't have nothing to pay. Maybe you just don't like failure. Don't be afraid to fail. Failing is the best thing to ever have. If you never fail, then you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? You have to fail. I believe it was Denzel Washington that said it. He was talking to some college. I want to say Grambling maybe. He said, don't be afraid to fail big. And I was like, that really touched me because that's true. I failed real big. I've lost it all twice. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't be afraid to fail big because they call it a major setback for a minor setback for a major comeback. You know what I mean? It's a saying, but it's true, man. Like to be an entrepreneur, literally, just do it, man. Just do it. You're going to fail. Okay? Let me be the first to tell you, it ain't gonna work. Whatever you think about while you listening to this, it's not gonna work. It's gonna fail. But when you do it, when you do the same thing next time and you tweak that little thing right there that you messed up last time, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Then it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Like aside from that, you're pretty stuck. You know what I mean? You have to fail. It's literally like a trial you have to go through.
And I think that's almost a problem with a lot of people who dream of getting in on entrepreneurship or who dream of doing their own thing, starting their own businesses. They're scared of the failure. They never want to wear that on their chest. Like, hey, yeah, I failed. Everybody's scared of the failure. They want to be the winner with a nice Instagram bio and all that.
Exactly, but it takes time, man. Time is nothing. When they say nothing happens overnight, that's not just a selling tactic. That's true. It literally doesn't happen. Women don't have children overnight, but nothing happens overnight. You know what I mean? Like, even the conception of a kid takes 3 days. You know what I mean? Nothing happens overnight. Especially when it comes to business. Your first 2 years, you're not even gonna make your money back.
Yeah.
The first 2 years, you're gonna barely break even. You're not gonna start making money into that third year. For the people that's into numbers, 30%. 30% is what you profit. That is your profit in your business. 30 years down the line, 30% is what's gonna be your profit. Maybe if you got multiple businesses, I guess you can round it up to 40 or 50. But if you do it individually, 30%. That's the number. 30%. That's the magic number. And remember, if you have an investor, 12%. Never give an investor more than 12%. And they invest into you, give them what their return back plus 12%. Nothing more than that. I know they say talk to an advisor about that. I'm just telling you from failing, okay? Failing and being scammed and losing money. Don't go over to an investor. An investor is somebody that pays for everything. That's what an investor is. No more than 12%. You know what I mean? And just stay true to you. Don't change for the money because remember that it's just cotton paper. At the end of the day, you only have your name and your word, whether you're a female or a male. It's just cotton paper, and don't sell your soul for it.
Right on, man. That's some straight wisdom. For anybody that's listening and they want to get in touch with you or get Crave Cave for a catering event or get anything from Crave Cave, how can they reach you?
You can go to Chef D, cravecave.com, or what's quicker is you just go to Instagram and type in at Crave Cave LV.
Crave Cave LV, that's the place to find you?
Yes, sir.
Right on. And then what about an email people can reach you at?
It's going to be cravecave@gmail.com. Yeah, that's Gmail. Had to think.
Awesome. Any
I'm
last?
sorry. Correction. cravecavelv@gmail.com. My mistake.
Awesome. So for both Instagram and Gmail, it's the Crave Cave LV
And Facebook. Yes, sir.
and Facebook.
And Facebook is the best way to place an order or get in contact with me as far as like booking them, so on and so forth.
Excellent. Do you have any last words for the people listening?
Just keep going forward, man. Keep going forward. You know what I mean? Keep going forward. Don't stop. You know, regardless of what you got going on right now, whether it be good or bad. If it's going good, make it go great. If it's going bad, then make it go good. Remember, the only way is up at the end of the day.
Right on. It's the only direction. Thanks for taking the time to sit here with me today here at KFAM Radio. I want you to have yourself a beautiful day, Mr. Deon.
Fantastic.
Take care, partner.